I understand half of it until it comes to the transfer.
And that's okay. It's always part of, the process. Don't worry, we'll be okay. I'm going to write correspondence now. Okay, for me, before I can even attempt a question, I know that I need to have, I'll write this in advance, because like it or not, this is the most important account on earth.
So in the exam, what I do is I open all of the books of accounts and have it in front of me. TCB,
Yes.
BCB, the client in trust, the client in business, fees and VAT control, fee journal, and accounting statement.
Yes,
And
obviously
transfer.
after reading the information, you will have a hint
Yes.
of which accounts must you open.
Okay.
Yes, because these are the common accounts. I'm just going to put them like this. And here, because it's a correspondent, I'm going to have, I know for sure I must have correspondent trust. Can you see now? I know for sure. That's why I don't hesitate. And I know at the same time, I need to, so I don't have to worry about separating the books because I understand now. I'm going to have, at the same time, before I forget, let me just write correspondent. Okay. I'm telling you, this will help you a lot. If you expect things to happen, I'm telling you. These are my expectations so far. Are you still with me?
Yes.
These are my expectations so far. If I have more, no problem, I'll come back and add. I'm just saying I expect, because I know from my past experience, I need to have these books. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, no problem.
So you have TCB, correspondent trust account.
Sorry, I made a mistake here. This was supposed to be business here.
Business.
I have two of them. I have two of them, yes. Okay. Can we?
Yes, go ahead.
Now, they say you are instructed by your correspondent to act on behalf of their client, Mr. Bentley. You agree to accept the instruction and give. This is important. You give them how much allowance?
10%
allowance. This will affect our fees. Okay.
Okay.
Now, they say you proceed as follows. You employ the services of the fast tracer to obtain the address of the defendant, Mr. Ford, and you pay them a fee of how much?
1,500.
1,500. If I may ask, how do you think I'm going to approach this? No pressure. I'm just going to check if you understand how. The basic level before I show you, like just tell me that if you were writing exam,
I would put this. I would put the fee in the business cash book.
Okay, who at the end of the day, who's responsible? Okay.
The correspondent.
Okay, why?
Because you are instructed by them.
In the business cash book. Why don't you go to the trust? I'm just asking.
Because it's not the client's money. It's got nothing
We're
to do with
instructed by them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, in a way. No, but at the end of the day, we cannot. The agent's fee must always come from the client's money, but not directly. But I understand how you approach it. Okay, so I will take that as a reason. So I'm gonna go and put it in there. I paid out of my business bank. Are you with me?
Yes.
Can you see here? I'm gonna pay it out of business bank. Obviously, when I pay, I must come to the credit side, but I must make sure that this money, I'm not responsible. I'm gonna take it from what? I'm gonna take it from the client's money at a later stage. But for now, I'm paying out of the cash, our cash book. So I'm gonna come here and write, because I prefer to know where to go next. So who is this? Is correspondent? Eh?
Yes.
Correspondent business. Thank you. And how much?
1,500.
1,005. In brackets, ne? Because some just what is that? Is I think this is the tracing fee, ne?
Yeah, tracing fee.
Oh yeah, tracing fee. And then obviously, let me just change the color so that I can make it better. And then I'll go to the business and I'll just say
PCB.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. And then I can just say tracing so that for future. And then 1,500. Thank you. I like that. I like that. Perfect. Next. Let's look there. You draft summons and then okay, the cost by the damage. Okay, here they say you just drafted the summons. They're not saying you can't record anything here. Are you with you on number 2? Just read number 2. Yes, because it's totally telling that you are drafting because of
it's just information.
Just information. Is then that on number 3 you are debiting the summons. Now you are charging them the fee. That's a fee to you. And you must always know where to just charge the fee. So where are we going to charge this summons fee? Under which account?
Fees,
obviously. But firstly, let's charge before we can go. What I prefer to do, I prefer to charge. We are charging what? The correspondent business. So you must come here.
Oh, okay. First, you must do the correspondent business.
Yes. And then say fee.
Plus VAT.
Plus VAT.
Oh, no. This one says.
It's excluding VAT. But we are VAT vendors, by the way. Excluding VAT doesn't mean that you... So it means you just have to calculate... It's 2,005, ne?
Yes.
So I don't know if I say times, whether it will, how it makes sense. I'm trying to include VAT in this way. Or you can say 2.5 times 15%, thereafter add that amount back to 2.5. I don't know which way do you prefer.
I prefer the first way. So then you get 2,500 plus 375. So 15% of that is 375. You get 2,500 plus 375, 2,875.
2,875. No, is it? Yes, like this. Perfect, like this, ne?
Yes.
But it doesn't matter how. I think I prefer your method. You said, let me put your plus. How much? 375.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did it separately.
Perfect. No problem. It's good to do it this way.
Okay.
Okay. No problem. And immediately when I do this, I'll transfer to the fees. Under which side?
Credits.
And I'll tell where did I take it from? From the correspondent. Thank you. And then how much is it? The fee only?
2,500.
Perfect. I must not isolate VAT the same way.
Sorry, sir. I just want to take this call.
Take it.
Yes, I'm with you again. Sorry about that.
No problem. No, it's okay. It's okay. Is it okay if I say 375?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. As long as it makes sense, okay? Can you move on?
Yes.
The summons were successfully served and you received a sheriff's invoice of 1725 and you paid the sheriff. How will I approach this?
Pay out of business.
Pay out of business. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go to business.
DCB, then you record it on the credit side.
Just going to do this.
Okay.
To make it quicker. And then I'm just going to write sheriff. Ne?
Yeah, sheriff, 1725.
1725. Okay, I must also go to business, yeah? Okay. And I'll just say
BCB.
yeah, PCB. And then I can just say sheriff just for more information.
1725.
1725. Perfect. No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. What about number 5, where Mr. Ford attends, settle the claim and cost him? Okay, this arrangement is acceptable. So here
This
we
is just
agree.
information.
Yeah. What about 6?
So now we have to record the monthly installment of 10,000.
Okay, how do we record it?
So this one is from a client. So it'll go in the trust cash book on the debit side. Right.
Okay, it belongs to the correspondent. Remember, our point here is the business between the correspondent and the instructing attorney. It's going to be trust, ne?
Trust, yes.
Yeah. Just to put more, you can just, if you are writing, just say so that don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, 10,000, ne?
Yes.
And we must also go to the trust on the credit side. Just say TCB, ne?
Yeah, 10,000.
10,000. Thank you. No, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. 7. Okay. There's something that we forgot there, but it's okay. It's okay. The debit collection commission of how much? 1,000.
1,000.
How will I approach this?
Okay, so this will be a fee and VAT situation. So you will put you'll put the fee and VAT under correspondent business ledger.
Thank you. Okay, please. The amount is 1,000 plus how much is the
150. So 1,000 plus 150 gives you 1,150 fees plus VAT.
Thank you so much. And then obviously must come in, eh?
Yes. 1,000.
And then here I must put
150.
150. So the reason why I said we forgot something, remember what? Let's go to the first fee here. We were supposed to, that 10% allowance. Remember, 10% allowance reduces the fee.
Yes. Yes.
So we're supposed to come this side, like here. I was supposed to come here. I want the 10% of that 287 there, the 10% there. So I prefer to call it.
Don't we put that in the journal?
No, it must also be shown in the books.
Okay, okay. So you want 10% off, divide by 287. 752,875 is 287.5 is the 10%.
Thank you. Meaning, even this one, we must do the same thing here. You don't have to write fee allowance. I'm just trying to make it different so that when someone reads, can understand that that is the 10% that I've been. Let me just write it like as 10%. Then what about that? It's going to be
115.
115, yes. And then the same applies to this one, so I must still do that here on the other side. Can you see now?
Okay.
And then I can just say to make it 10%, you know, just for more information, what is the 10%? It's going to be 250 for that one. It's like I'm doing the same fee on the opposite side. I don't know if it makes sense.
Okay. So then this
Because
will be
yes,
250, yes.
It's going to be how much? 10%? 100.
Yeah.
The same applies to VAT. Is it 37.5?
Yes.
And the other one, it's going to be 15.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how. So it's like the same way of recording the fees, but now we go to the opposite side. Why? Because the allowance reduces our fees. Because you allow someone, it's like you say to someone, go and sell my car, I will give you 10%. Can you see now?
Okay. Yes.
So the 10% must reduce. That's why everything goes as the opposite now.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for that. And there's after they say you account your correspondent after receipt of the first payment, and you pay SARS the amount due of your liability, VAT liability. So what we need to do now is time for us to check the correspondent business. If you can check here when it comes to the correspondent business here.
Are we not drawing up a journal?
No, remember if they say books, you have to draw both journals and the account. So journals will be there after. The same information will go to the journals.
Okay.
But now remember, we're still focusing on the books. Of accounts in the form of accounts, general ledger accounts.
Okay.
So what is confusing with your institution, for example, they normally say open the correspondence books. And for me, books includes both accounts, it includes the journals, everything.
Yes.
So I think in future they must be very specific, only deal with the general ledger accounts like this, and only deal with what? The journals. But usually if they want journals, they normally tell you to open journals. So we're still focusing on the general ledger accounts, and then thereafter we can show the books in the journals themselves. So for now, we didn't finish now. Can we continue?
Yes, continue.
Now let's go to the correspondent business and check how much are we owed. Remember, whatever is on the debit here, it means we are being owed. So it means we are owed on the debit side, and then whatever is on the credit side reduces what is on the debit side. So I think the biggest side is the debit there. So please add for us.
Okay, so we are on correspondent business.
Yes.
1,500 plus 2,875 plus 1,725 plus 1,150. On the debit side, you get 7,250.
7,250 means the biggest, ne? I'm gonna write it on the other side. 7,250. So what is the difference now? Just take this one and minus the 2 there, or you can find the total of the 2 and minus it from that.
The credit side is 402.5, so 7,250 minus 402.5 gives you 6847.5.
6847.5. That is the amount that we need to transfer. Let's say, okay, it's going to be, let me just remember, transfer takes place between the correspondent business and correspondent trust. Remember?
Yes.
So I'm just going to write it like this and say transfer. And then let me change the color so that it can look different. Okay, so I'm going to call it
On the credit
transfer.
side.
Yeah, here I write trust. Transfer,
Okay.
but how much is that amount that I need to transfer on your calculator?
6847.5.
But we can't just transfer. Let's go back to the trust and check if you've got enough cash. Do we have enough cash here? Do we have enough money in the trust?
Yes.
We do. So that amount, all of it can be transferred. Can you see? If it was not enough, I was supposed to transfer up to what is available there. Are we still together?
Yes.
6, 8,
47.5.
47.5. Thank you so much. Yes. So remember, I said correspondent trusts. So I'm also going to go to the correspondent trust under which side? Here. But I write correspondent business, okay? Which is 847.5. Can you see now? That's the transfer that we made. Can you see? Transfer always take place between the correspondent trust and business. Are we together?
Yes.
But remember, I told you the transfer has got 2 stages. This was stage number 1 between the trust ledger accounts here, correspondent trust, and the correspondent business. What is the second stage? Let me help you. I don't want to stress you. Okay. It must take place between the cash books.
Okay.
So I must come here and say business, because I'm transferring between the, I'm going to transfer it to the business cash book. I'm just going to write transfer so that can look different. The same amount that I transferred there, which is 6 what? 6 4 or 6 8?
47.5.
Yes. Can you see now? And I must also transfer it to the business, but on the opposite side here. Ne? And I write what?
TCB transfer.
Cash. Yes. And then same amount. So please don't forget. I remember we spoke about it before, but it doesn't matter. Remember to do the transfer 2 times.
It takes place twice.
Yes. So the transfer will end here.
Okay.
Okay. Are you good?
Yes. Are we finished?
No, not finished. Remember, they said we must, this statement is important here. They say we must pay what is due to SARS. So we must go to VAT. This is SARS. Yeah?
Yes.
And then we must check. I think we owe SARS what is on the credit there. Let's check how much is the credit here. And then the difference is what we are 525.
Yeah.
Here. You said 525, ne?
Yeah, credit side equals 525. And the debit side.
And you minus the debit. Sorry, my account is too small, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna improvise here. So 525 is the total, ne?
Yes.
So just minus the other side and tell me how much.
It's 472.5.
472.5. That is what I must pay to SARS, and I can only pay SARS from our business cash book, ne?
Yes.
Because it's not, we cannot use clients' money to pay for our own.
Liability.
Let me just say payment. It's okay. Come again?
SARS payment.
How much?
472.5.
472. Thank you so much. So it means if you pay that, obviously the total here will be 525. If you are, I'm just saying if you are balancing.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, my account is too small. So this is how to balance the account. So you are going to pay. So it means you must go to the business cash book on the credit side. Where is it? Here. And then you
SARS.
pay. Yes, you can say SARS VAT, doesn't matter. And then not, yeah, SARS. How much is it?
472.5.
472.5. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Now we must come to the corresponding trust account, and we must also balance this because now we need to pay what belongs to the instructing attorney. So we must just come and balance this. Okay. And then obviously the biggest side here is 10,000. And 10,000. And the difference will be something. And that amount must be the one that we must pay to. We must pay this correspondent, né?
Yes.
The instructing attorney. So we're gonna pay it out of the trust bank or the trust cash book, because that's the money that we, in other words, whatever we collected, the remainder must always be paid to the instructing attorney. So we're gonna pay instructing attorney the difference between 10,000 and 684.
Which is 3152.5.
3152.5, ne?
Yes.
So must go and take it out of the trust cash book. And we show that we paid correspondent trusts. I can just say settlement, just to make it a bit different. You know? So it was 31
52.5.
52.5. Are you following?
Yes.
Yes. And then thereafter, this means this after we collected from that. Remember, we were sent to collect. This remainder is the one that must be paid after we took our own fees, after paying whatever was necessary. So this is what has been paid to the instructing attorney. Okay. Now we can come here. You don't have to balance, but we can balance this one. I think it must automatically balance to show that the whole process is complete. I think it must be 10,000 both.
Each.
Yeah, I think it must be 10,000. Must be 10,000 here. Just add the credit side and check if it's 10,000 or not.
It is.
It is, ne? Yeah. And then this one, we don't have to balance, but if we balance, remember this one, we are just going to have balance down. Eh? I'm just saying if you have to balance, yes. Because sometimes they say balance all the books. So I think the biggest side is this one. And we just have to say 6847.5, both sides. 6847.5, and the difference is going to be balance carried down. Of which I don't know how much, but that's, you just have to minus the figures on the other side.
2752.
2752. And then I must not forget to bring it
Point
down.
five. Point five.
Okay. You see now? So this one is balanced. 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 This one again, you can just do the balance carry down, balance brought down. Will you be able to do that? I think I trust that you can balance this one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. These are the correspondence accounts, but they can also
That's
ask you for the general. You got it?
You make it easy.
Yeah, it's good, man. You know, as long as can you see if it makes sense.
Yes,
It tends to be easy. It tends to be easy. Don't worry. Step by step.
Okay.
So, apart from these,
so for the correspondent question, you don't have to draw up the journals.
No, you have to, because I know sometimes when they ask you, they want you to show both, but sometimes they do specifically state that you must also do the journals. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they must change the way they said this question just to say, focus on the general ledger accounts and thereafter transfer to the journals. Can you see now? So if they say correspondent books, it means sometimes they can mean both accounts and the journals. Are you with me?
Yes.
So when you're writing your exam there and they're not specific, just go and open your journals.
Okay.
Of which we can do them. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. I do have. I understand the journals. It's the transfer that was bothering me. Yes.
No, as long as you understand the journals, I'm happy.
Yes.